The following segment is sponsored by Daniel A. White and Associates. It does not necessarily reflect the views of WDEL or Forever Media. Rick Jensen on 1150 AM, 1017 FM, WDEL.
You know, I've been a client of Dan White for many, many years now. He's a financial advisor specializing in retirement income. He and I were talking, so many times last year, but I think it was like in October, late October, early November. I said, all right, we're heading into a lot of volatility now. The Fed's talking about raising rates a bunch of times next year. What do you think I ought to do? And he said, well, it all depends. I mean, how much volatility do you want to stand? And I said, well, it all depends how bad it's going to get. So we had a conversation about that. He did not tell me sell or buy. We just had a conversation. So, you make up your own mind. Based on what I was hearing from Dan, instead of being 80% in the market, individual stocks, by the way, in which I've done pretty well over the years, in rollover IRAs, I sold out to now where I'm 20% in individual stocks in the market. And I'm tracking some of these companies are great companies and see what they're doing right now and thinking, thank you, Dan White. Seriously. Every Wednesday after news at 1:30, Dan or one of his associates calls in with some advice. And today it's the lovely and talented Dan Simon. Dan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Rick. How are you today?
Actually, I'm quite happy because I'm looking at these accounts thinking, man, yeah, short term, let's see what happens for the rest of the year. And honestly, I'm really glad because Dan did get me into a guaranteed account, an annuity. It's an annuity, just is what it is, and it's great. And I make money. I earn money on it. I don't lose anything. So I love the guarantee of that, and it's working out very, very well with everything else that's going on these days. So that's how I'm doing. How are you doing?
Oh, that peace of mind of the downside protection is nice when the market's down about 10% for the year so far, isn't it, Rick?
Oh, God. So, like I said, I've made more good decisions than bad ones. Years ago, I bought this company called NVIDIA, and they do a lot of chips, chipsets, gaming consoles, things like that, but other things as well. It's not all they do. They're not really a gaming company, although their chips are used in games. $8 a share. And this is just a very dramatic example. One point last year, I think it was October, it was at $307.
Mm-hmm.
And it started dropping. Analysts were half and half. Some say it's going to be great. It should be, $365 at the end of the year. Others are saying it's overpriced. Shouldn't be more than $250, things like that. I'm looking at the reports, and I'm thinking, see what's coming down the pike this next year. Again, this is November, December. And I said, I'm going to sell. Well, I'm very, very lucky. That was one of many, many companies that I just sold. I sold at $277. It's like $225 now or something like that. And I thought, I made money, so that's a good thing. But you really don't want to be in a position where you're losing so much of your gains, especially for those folks who are retired. And I thought it's good to have guys like you to talk to and listen to. Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean that's a stock in the tech sector, which had been doing great, but it's gotten hammered pretty good recently. But a little sunshine on a cloudy day today. It seems like the markets are all up over about 2.5% right now. So, but anyhow, wanted to just kind of touch on a couple of things. That we're entering tax season for most folks right now. I think they're getting their taxes prepared, and we actually had somebody call into the office yesterday, a client of ours who sadly lost their spouse, and they're still in their working years, and the question came up, or the thought came up was, can they still contribute to a retirement account for that spouse for that calendar year? And they were convinced that they could. They'd received different information. We kind of went back into one of our sources. We're tied in with Ed Slott, who's kind of a foremost authority on IRAs and tax planning there. And the reality is that you cannot contribute to a retirement account after date of death for a spouse, even for that tax year. So it's important. I mean, this time of the year, as people are getting ready to file their taxes and make those decisions as to whether or not to contribute to a certain type of account. Unfortunately, death does happen, and that's something that needs to be taken into consideration when those contributions are made, or if they're intending to make further contributions. As we all know, those accounts are really designed for for retirement income. So the law does not allow for that.
No, I know. And we make these plans for each other, so I can understand why somebody might ask that really awkward question. I mean, what do you think when he's actually said, can I make a contribution to the IRA?
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to reduce their taxes to me.
Yeah, I know. It's like, is that going to be your first thought? Well, it's been a while, so I understand that. Yeah. So, but there are some things you can do, and I know you guys do know the rules of the road when it comes to all these, things you can do regarding IRAs and contributions and everything. So this is the last, I guess, month that you can make a contribution to the IRA? This is it?
This is it. What is it? April 15th, 18th? I forget what the exact tax date is this year.
That's okay. I hate it. I got almost all my stuff together, and then, I hate it. I just do.
It's a great time of the year, right?
Shut up.
Yeah, not so much. Right?
It's so funny. I was talking to my accountant the other day. He says, yeah, we got all these deadlines. I said, what do you mean all these deadlines? It's like there are so many different deadlines throughout the year for so many different people, so many different businesses. It's like there's a deadline every month these days, Yeah, they're doing it all the time. Hey, I got a serious question for you. How did that movie premiere go yesterday? Huh?
From what I understand, it was pretty well received.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the headlines for it, but we had two showings, one in the afternoon, larger crowd in the evening, and pretty good turnout. It's the first time we've ever done something like that, so we were pretty happy with the turnout that we received, and everybody showed up, seemed to really enjoy, kind of hearing a different perspective on things, that you don't typically hear about, because it's, with retirement, I feel like it's kind of forced down your throat, save for the 401k, fund the IRA, this and that, and the movie really kind of highlighted on how the 401k replaced the pension, and how people really should be thinking about positioning assets for income in retirement, and to hear about it from some of the well-known professionals out there, or experts, so to say, I think was kind of reassuring and insightful for a lot of the folks that were there.
Yeah, if you don't know, folks, it's a feature film. And it's titled The Baby Boomer Dilemma Movie. And Dan White and Associates featured that at AMC Painters Crossing in Westchester just yesterday. It really is an expose of America's retirement experiment, and it had some of the nation's top economic minds, government leaders, things like that. I actually interviewed Ted Benna many, many years ago. Ted Benna, folks don't know, he's a benefits consultant, financial planner, and he's the guy who discovered this 401k in the tax code. See, it's just kind of like Ted Benna, Dan White, these guys, they actually sit down and read the tax code. And I'm thinking, yeah, that would be the third level of purgatory in my world. But you guys do this stuff. And he's the guy who found that initially. His idea was to use this for senior executives at companies. They want to supplement their pensions, and said, okay, here's something additional. And then somebody took it and said, oh, no, we replace pensions with this because the baby boomers are getting older, retiring, and there's not as many people behind them to support the traditional pension. So companies were creative, and they found something else that would keep the company going, but it's not nearly as robust as the pensions that this country had for people who retired, say, like in the 1960s or 70s.
Sounds like it was the most, exciting interview that you've ever done there, Rick. Maybe
Wait. Hold it. Oh, I get it. Sarcasm. I got that. Good job, Dan.
Hey, come on. It's pouring rain and freezing cold out. A little sarcasm.
A little something, right? Pal. That's right. Throw me a bone here, says Dan. Now, actually, I will tell you, I remember the conversation with Ted. Again, he's the guy who invented the 401k. He was sincerely sad. I mean, he really took it personally that the 401k plan replaced pensions, and he is a supporter. I guess he's still living, but certainly at that time a supporter of pension plans, and he was generally heartbroken that they took what he discovered and applied it to everybody.
Yeah, and the landscape's just changed in retirement. I mean, you don't necessarily see the career employee or the lifetimer at whatever company it may be. It seems like people hop around from job, every 3 to 5 years now, to increase their wages. And, the pension system wasn't portable in that regard. So a lot of things have changed.
True enough. Dan Simon, a financial planning expert with Dan White and Associates in the Middletown office. You can give him a call at 888-690-8820 and say, hey, what about me? How am I doing? And Dan's a great financial planner. He'll guide you right along. 888-690-8820. Now, Sunday on the Money with Dan White, 7 o'clock on WDEL, and it's the flaws with the 4% rule. Really, the flaws with the 4% rule. This is something you guys are talking about in the office?
Absolutely. It's sustainable drawdown rates. Historically, it was always the 4% rule. You draw down 4% on your assets, and you should be in good shape forever. But taking into consideration the interest rate environment that we've been living in for, what's it been, 12, 13 years now, where you can really earn a dime on your money in the bank. We've got volatile stock markets right now. I'm sure it'll be a great show.
It will be. So Sunday morning at 7 a.m. And I'll bet nowadays with inflation, your dollar's probably worth about, 78 cents or something like that. Dollar. Jeez, terrible. Yeah. All right, my friend. We'll be well. And remember, folks, Dan Simon, he'll drive to your place. No, I'm kidding. All righty. He'll show you how to make enough money, save enough money so you can afford gasoline. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate the call. Take care.
Always a pleasure, Rick. Have a great day.
All right, buddy. Dan White and Associates.